about Bafum. Even though he's been around for so long, actually played quite massively. Even one of his former teammates from Link Gaming being in this team right now in Zed, obviously, he hasn't actually played on the big stage that many times. Back in Source, it was never really as prominent. The only time we really saw him play on a big stage recently in CSGO was when they were able to make it to the Grand Finals of the ESL UK Championships a little while back when he was playing for Reason Gaming himself.
Did he join, you know those UK Masters finals we casted? That was T-Sac, Robin, was Bafum on that?
I don't think Bafum was on that line.
No, it was Roma instead of, yeah, exactly. So you're right in terms of experience, obviously a wealth of experience.
Online by far.
Exactly, exactly. And of course, former teammate Zed, that's why the sub was brought in. Aaron, not sure why he's away, but obviously condolences to him. It's going to be the first round going forward. Infused starting on the T side. It's going to be Zed buying up the utility. Obviously the new IGL for the roster. New role he's been filling into. And Bafum, with confidence into this first round of the Elite Series, instantly buys up the Desert Eagle.
Well, let's see what he can do. He's rolling back the years. He's trying to play it like it's Source. Let's see if he can whip out something sneaky with that Deagle play, as that will be quite exhilarating to see if he can. Haste holding towards Ivy early on, those Snots.
Exactly. Zed can throw smoke towards lower, try to throw flashbangs and sell a fake towards the B-bomb site. So Haste rotates, but you can see Haste hasn't moved just yet. He's going to land the kills.
Oh, peeks through, but doesn't quite take anyone down just yet. Struggling, gets dinked down to 2 HP as well. And Infused find the first entry frag, as Fry will be the one to strike first, as they now explode out on towards A. They've secured a lot of control here as well. They're actually getting out. Link's dealing damage. Dances comes through. Manette just struggling to do absolutely anything at all. He couldn't compose himself. And it's all on to KS. Everyone on Infused still alive and kicking. Zed finds the final frag with a headshot as well. It's a clean house.
It is indeed. The pistol now being won for the side of Infused. Very, standard play. You sell your fake towards the B-bomb site. You try and force the alley player to rotate away. That means less of a defense towards alley, towards Ivy, towards the backline trains, where Haste went towards green train. Sunny allows the Infused players to push up. They get closer. Fry lands that first kill. Link finds a second. 5 versus 3, and they swarm the site, and it's there. So it's going to be now round number 2.
And that's the thing as well. What are we going to see from Reason coming out to this as well? You can see with the buy, they have gone for more of a force. Looks like they are going to be going aggressive, Snods.
They are indeed. Chaos pushing towards B. Dancy, something he's seen the head just yet. But obviously these Zeds close range, Jack, we know the power they hold on to.
Oh, they can really pack a punch. A lot of stopper power behind these close range weapons, especially when you go for a bit of a cheeky counterplay like this as well. If they don't realize, especially with KS finding that initial frag, Basso is now in the back line. Unfortunately, this isn't as impactful as it is, but they still have a lot of map control from this.
Now it's the complete reversal from the pistol where Reason in a controller B, they know it's going to be played towards the A site now.
But here he is, the man himself, the Bafum, trying to kick it off as he wants to tiptoe his way through. Unleashes hell with his Mat 10, but can't quite get the frag just yet. Does find the headshot. Fry backs him up as well as he starts to spray and pray with the AK and deal deadly blows. There's Link coming in with a headshot. Trade back on KS as Bafum will fall short, but Link is still just popping heads consistently. Link is incredible when he has these rifles in his hands as well, especially in these rounds. If you can let Link build confidence early, he's going to be so impactful in the late game.
Precisely. It's so important that you get your star players, especially ones that rely on aim as well. Sean Gers said in an interview once where he would have Shroud push and play aggressive versus Eco Frags, versus Force Spies to get those early kills, to get confidence with your aim, to get warmed up into the matchup. If your star player, a player as explosive as Link, is warmed up and ready to deliver, he can open up rounds, he can change the course of rounds from 5 versus 3s into 3 versus 3s. He's someone you want firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it's like, preheating an oven.
Exactly.
You pop it on for 5 minutes before.
Exactly.
When you do put the pizza in, it cooks perfectly.
Exactly. You preheat it during the ecos, and he's ready for the buy rounds.
Exactly. KS, though, trying to deal some damage on this round, but Fry will be a little bit too hot to handle there. Does take him down eventually. Upgrades to a free CZ as well, as they do get through that round. Looked like it was going to be a bit awkward towards the start, but a good recovery.
Good recovery indeed. 3 players staying alive as well versus the 4 spy of Reason Gaming. Manette only investing into the Deagle, which means most likely to be seeing him wood in the open to the first buy round. Actually, the only match I believe Reason have lost was the first week. Envious versus Reason. If you remember, it was like 16-13. It was a very close matchup, and it was on train, and Reason Game actually lost that. Bringing out this map again, is they going to be bringing back those bad memories?
Yeah, it's true. Well, let's see, as this should be a little bit of an easy one. Basically just aim practice. All they need to do is go through, use their marksmanship skills with these rifles and SMGs, and just really try to get the last of the economy soaked out of Reason, as they haven't invested at all. It's just the taser on KS, surprisingly.
Exactly that. Try and avoid casualties, have 4 or 5 stay alive, stack up the kills, the Mac 10s from Bafum. And Dances, especially Dances as your AWPer as well, you really want the $600 kill onto your AWPer star plane.
Ooh, Bafum trying to stay alive as he bounds out. Luckily, it was Fry and Link to actually back him up. Vaso does get 2 into the round, so they force out 2 rebuys anyway out the side of Infused. KS coming down with a taser as he wants to make this round a little bit more electrifying, but unfortunately, he isn't going to be able to.
Isn't indeed. And it will go now to 3-0. Infused claiming the first. Piss still getting the win versus the Force by the Eco, and now going to the first buy round of this first matchup of week number 7. What is the call going to be? Are they going to carry forward these Mac 10s? They can play a very high octane style of CS into this first buy round. Maybe go for smokes towards our side, go a heavy pop play. Out through pop, try swarm the A site with speed. Or you can try go for B execution, get those Mac 10s up close.
Looks like a bit of a risky play as well from Minette there. Going to go for the glass cannon Orps nods. What do you reckon we're going to see him actually do with this?
On a map like Train, you can go glass cannon just because you can play so passive and have so much success. You can see he's playing these long-range angles towards Green, Train peeking in towards team main, playing towards Ali, peeking in towards, of course, Ali as well. And what that means is, it's very likely he lands the first bullet anyway. If you're playing maps like sometimes Mirage, you're playing around Connector, you're playing around Jungle, that can get very tedious if you are playing without Kevlar. Map like Cash as well, if you're playing on the A side, you're playing in towards A main. But you can see here the range he has is like a safety buffer.
Well, he tries to go for the opening shot. Unfortunately, doesn't land the flick, though. But he gets the info off the back of it. They know there is at least one player towards Ivy. The rest of them grouped up in a free piece here towards mid-main as well as the flashbang comes over, but the CTs aren't going to go for a deep play. They just hold back. They've secured a lot of map control from that as well, but KS falls short. Zed on the lurk, up to his old tricks as he opens it up.
And now they can slow the round right down. Infused, of course, the rotation to come out from Basso towards the B bomb side. The thing we haven't actually noted just yet, Jack, is the fact that Recent Gaming have no defuse kits. If this bomb is planted towards A, towards B, a retake with an AWP, no Kevlar, 2 flashbangs, all the utility they have, and no defuse kit, it's not looking good.
All their firepower starts to dwindle away as well. Luckily, they strike back. It's actually a free K that comes through. A double kill from Tessus and 1 kill from Minette as he strikes with the AWP, leaving them in a 3v2. This is manageable, but it's Fry and Dances, the 2 young guns that definitely can land a few sucker punches.
Minette needs to go huge. He actually lands that frag from up close. If he missed that shot, that the Kevlar could have gone south, and now it's all down to Fry, the one player you want in this scenario.
He's into the fray, but unfortunately it isn't going to be a clutch from Fry today. He will go down as they strike first, remove him from the equation, and Reason do get that opening round on the board to at least try and set the pace. Risky though, it looked like it was going incredibly wrong for them, but towards the end there, just a nice flurry of frags came through from Tessus and Minette.
Yeah, I mean, what, they had the first 2 kills towards A main, towards Ali as well. Oh, sorry, towards B and towards A main. They find the first 2 entry frags, then from there, it all just falls apart. I believe it was Zed peeking overzealously towards Blue Train. Dances was actually holding towards Connector. Players were holding for peaks, while other players were trying to push towards the site. Didn't quite fall together in place. Anyway, that will be round number 5, 3-1. Reason Gaming going to be wielding the UMP onto KS. This time they do have defuse kits onto Haste and KS. AK's salvage as well off of the corpses from Infused. So far, it's looking good for Reason Gamers. They now gain control of team A, so they can smoke this off, leave it, rotate an extra player towards the B side if they want to, as it seems heavily likely now that Infused are poised to eventually commit towards the B bomb site. KS, he's actually been a really good anchor towards Train. If you remember watching the games from previous and prior in this season, KS has been one of the staples of Train for Reason Gaming.
Let's see how it will actually go down though towards the speed bomb site as Haste. Right now just going for a bit of an early contact play. We'll spam away with the M4, at least keep them dubious of what they're up to. Tessus actually could go for the backstab as well. I believe he's just playing close towards underneath ladder right now on Pop Dog. As soon as they go for this place, Nods, he could try backstab.
Yeah, no Molotovs though. If they had a Molotov with 40 seconds left to counteract this execute, it'd be perfect.
Oh, the execute is coming out though as they want to explode their way through. Let's see if Haste and Co can live up to the hype. Haste comes in with the opening headshot and a double as well, takes down Link. Tessus in the rear, but he seemed confused. Switches around at the wrong timing and actually goes down, falls short because of this. Basso with 1 kill, and there's the final from KS though to shut it down. A bit of a weird round, but nevertheless, it is still going to go in the favor of Reason Gaming.
Infused there, not taking any control of the map. They give up control of teammate. They show no presence towards Ali as well. What it means is very obvious as to where Infused are going to be eventually ending their round, where they're going to be choosing to commit to, because if there's no presence shown towards their main, the CTs are pushed in, and they have control of it, they can leave a player there, they can smoke it off. Your AWP has seen nothing towards Ali. Usually there's a flashbang, usually there's a player jumping. You know they're either going to be going heavy pop, and Tessus has pushed pop all the way. They're forced and funneled in towards this B-bomb site.
Basso. Always is a bit of a cheeky angle, Snods. If they push through, they don't clear it, especially when they cross as well. He gets vision on them earlier. You can try and go for these opening kills. There's the opening headshot, peeks through as well. They do not have any range to play with. Just easy spray down for him on this eco, just making quick work of everyone as the headshots just soar through from good old Basso.
Usually, Basso's his impact in a 1 versus 3, a 1 versus 2, but then again, he holds on to so much of that raw talent, that pure firepower. So, We are going into round number 7, I believe. Scoreline will read 3-3 as Reason Gaming, as soon as the buy rounds have come to fruition now, Jack, Reason Gaming been able to claim all 3 of them. And it will be 5 AKs as well. No AWP for Dances. He's trying to get a pick towards team main. He hasn't really tried to challenge the AWP from Manette towards Ali yet, or gone towards B to get the first pick onto KS, so we'll be opting for the rifle instead. And speaking of rifles, it's going to be KS and Basso with a rifle push towards B, but is it going to be fast enough?
Oh, I'm a big fan of this play as well because it actually allows them to rotate over very effectively and backstab upon this team Infused push that's coming in towards the A site. Bayfam does damage though as he finds that kill towards Tessus. Basso playing around the smoke. He is blocked off towards Popdog, but it's dissipated. He's allowed to peek, gets Bayfam, gets the second as well as he finds the follow-up kill. He's basically just closed out the round there, leaving Link and Zed fairly spread thin. They're not really too effectively close together and they have to recover that bomb. This is going to be an awkward round.
It will indeed. All down onto Link, the newest player, the newest addition to the roster. KS just spot him out, but eventually I believe he went towards Sandwich, but actually Link pushing towards Olof, goes for the first frag, managed to dink him through the train, leaving it down to the 1 versus 1. Basso, the one player you do not want to be up against on Reason in a 1 versus 1 clutch scenario. Also, 15 HP, only a flashbang to work with. Let's just try and work out exactly where Basso is.
Oh. Let's see what he can do, Hasnods. Right now, Basso, 100 HP, all the utility in the world, and he's got a kit as well, so no matter what Link does, this is going to be a very hard round, fought to the bitter end, as he will slowly make his approach in. Knows the location of the bomb. It isn't contested. It's not being held by Basso, so he does have freedom to grab it. He's only got 28 seconds left to play. If he wants to be risky, he can try and go towards B, but crossing towards Popdog opens himself up. The line of sight is there, and Basso doesn't miss a trick.
Surgical shot there through the tiny gap from Ali. And you can hear Neil not exactly too happy with how things have favoured ever since the buy rounds came around. Once again, though, Reason Gaming going for the CT aggression. We saw Tessus push towards Popdog in the last round. They pushed towards Team Main as well. This buy round, you now have KS and Basso pushing towards B. They have the flank coming in towards Popdog. And so far, Reason Gaming are the ones really showing us CT aggression and is paying off with information and those crucial mid-round kills.
Oh yeah, they're living up to it. They're showing that the best offense, the best defense is a good offense there, as they are just pushing out and being able to get into these aggressive angles. It's working well. Right here though, Infused, actually great timing for Fry as he swoops down, takes down Tessus. This is going a little bit wrong for Reason. Actually overextended, but it's coming back to bite them. But Manette with the AWP finds a double as he's being pushed thick and fast, but luckily he has now put a stop to it. He's slowing them down, gives himself enough time to try and reset, will be killed by Fry as he has that scavenged M4 as it comes down to a 2 versus 3. They are stronger in terms of their arsenal, Snods, but Infused do have good post-plant positions. Bayfam, though, unfortunately not going to clear the correct angle. Haste just given a golden opportunity there for 2 frags as no one could support each other. They're basically having to play 1v1s, and it all comes down to Fry in a clutch, whose face is going to get peeled off by KS.
No Kevlar, no real chance. That's now the bomb was planted towards default. You had the player. One of the players was default and also Haste. They're coming from behind this time as well. Again, pushing towards B. As soon as they know there's a heavy player towards outside, the CT aggression has been so correct. Coming out from Reason. Casting Pro League as well. Casting a Hellraise is watching how Angel depicts his CT sides. Reminds me a lot of this, where Angel would call for so many aggressive CT plays. It'd always be pushes towards B, pushes towards Popdog. And there's always well-timed pushes coming out from him himself. The reason being is, when you have a new roster, it's so hard to integrate your individual calls as a caller and spread them across your roster.
Oh. Zed barely hanging on there as he finds that frag, but that's a true point to work with. And the fact is as well, obviously, for Infused, in terms of as much structure, they're a bit limited. You don't have Aaron, that's a very key player of the team. He's quite consistent in what he does. Obviously, it's a little bit different in how Bayfam works as an individual. But coming into this, it seems like their constant aggression is what was coming back to bite them. We see Reason always going up for those very close angles, playing crossfires where they are deep for info. If Infused dial it back a little bit, like they're playing it slow now, and they've got the first frag, there should be potential to pick this round up, especially when they take these 1v1 firefights. They can win these individual duels.
Reminiscent of the matchup last week, where versus the Bulgarians, when they started playing their defaults, they were winning these rounds because the opposition were walking into their crosshairs, but now it's the complete opposite. As once the quote-unquote commit comes, there's no flashbangs, there's no utility. Once again, Jack, it's all crumbled.
Yeah, they've walked straight in and they've just been taken out. Nothing has worked for them, even with the flashbang to back them up. So it's just on Zed as well. Last alive as per usual. Surely shouldn't be alive for too long. 10 HP is all he has to his name up against this terrifying trio on the side of Reason. The bomb miles away as well. He's just wandering around like a lost child.
Exactly. Someone please find Zed. There's 30 seconds left, just going to be saving the AK. Does the typical tilted player look where he knifes the air. Showing us he's having a whale of a time.
Yeah, Yes, indeed. As he is over towards B, just waiting. Essentially just offering himself up as a sacrifice. No one's looking for him, though. Everyone's still just holding strong on the side of Reason.
It's like he's trying to die.
He's putting the effort in.
Oh, dear. So we'll be saving, obviously. As we go into round number 10, it's going to be double digits in terms of rounds. And so far, 6 claimed from Reason Gaming. 6 on the trot as well. So it will be the maximum round loss bonus for Infused. But no bomb plant means, once again, they may not be able to afford a strong buy going forward. This is the thing. If you remember, we were casting them last week versus Prophecy on Cobblestone, and then they were doing the same setup where they group together and they play a very obvious set play where they burst the site as a 5-man unit. They try to play the trade game into the sites, try to get the trade frags off of their entry fraggers. The problem is, it was when they did their default, they found success in this. The exact same happened last round. You had Zed holding towards B, you had Link holding towards A main. They both find kills early on. It's a 5 versus 3. And then in the mid-round, there's no utility used. And they just walk into the crossfires of Reason Gaming.
Well, you can hear how heated everything is right now as well. Obviously, for Neil, someone that, as we know, very passionate in moments of hype, can be very loud, very aggressive, likes to try and keep everyone pumped up, but he has very low lows as well. And this is the frustration there, because things aren't going right at all. Obviously, he's trying to throw some extra info in, bounce off of Zed a little bit, provide some more strategy potentially to the team, and because it's not working, there's a lot of frustration between all these individual players. And you've got to imagine the morale right now on that T side. It's only early into this matchup, and it looks pretty somber. Everyone looks pretty down.
Indeed, they are fighting for their tournament lives as well. So, going forward, round number 10, it's going to be 4 AKs and a Galil coming up for Dances. They will be mustering together some sort of a buy. One Molotov to Fry. How many smokes as well? I believe it is 5. 5 smokes. They can go for an execution. They can hold and then later go for the execution. You said as well, you heard as well, Neil saying, I said to smoke right side. I said to do this with the grenades. And the players weren't following suit. But finally, we're seeing more of a default. 1 towards team main, 2 towards alley, 2 towards Pop Dog. Very, very typical default coming out now for the side of Infused. You can split and pin to this A bomb site. 2 towards alley, 2 towards Pop Dog, 1 towards team main. Try to suffocate the CT side.
Let's see if they actually can find success, or if this is going to be a mission that will go wrong. Bayfront right now passing the bomb back up towards above Pop Dog as he does work his way down. He can try and make some noise over towards that A site. They are setting themselves up. The lurk coming through as well. The contact face from Manette actually overpowers Zed this time, and they're allowed to fall back. They once again have that opening frag under their belt.
5 versus 4. Minute left on the clock here. 2 players towards alley still. Batham now alone outside B. Has the bomb. This time, though, Tessus isn't pushed or got close. Smoke comes out there from KS with only 45 seconds left, which means when that smoke fades, it's going to be 30 or 25 seconds left. Infused really have to up the tempo here. They have to make their mark soon.
Manette, just another free frag. Fry just peeking into him. Dancy's forced to fall back. This looks so incoherent. No one really working together, just peeking 1v1, offering free fights to everyone on the side of Reason. There was no potential for a trade, even to just try and crossfire at all there. What is going wrong, Snods?
I think we've seen, what, 4 CT pushes now towards B? Something ridiculous like that. Or maybe even 5 as well, when you consider the fact that there's a round where Haste and, what was it? Basso and KS weren't spotted.
Well, the thing is, it's not even as if they're doing it just for information, then falling back as well. It's being seen every time. They're finding the frags on Zeds. There's trades multiple times. They're still getting into the backline. They're aware of it. Normally in that scenario, you hold for it. You just mentally assume they are going to be able to go for this play once more. It's like when you take aggressive mid-control, Mirage.
So Basso now aggressive towards Heaven. Has the support off of KS. Zed walks in actually to the crosshair of Basso, but wins that duel with the season up close and personal. Will claim that frag. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 as Manette chimes in, takes Batham out of the server. As the sub is put to the bench, it seems. 1 minute 20 left on the clock. Another play is actually to come towards the B bomb. So from Infused, Link alone towards A. Has no utility. An ideal situation right now would be he can smoke outside, he can flash Molotov, try to sell some sort of a fake, and force KS to rotate towards A. But it seems anyway, it will be happening regardless. There's kits right now for the CT side. They have an AWP as well playing backlines on the B bomb, so they can give this site up. Have Manette try and find 1 or 2 kills versus the pistols and play a very clean clinical retake.
Manette going to come in with that shot off on towards Zed though. He's able to reposition now as he Knows they're pushing through. Dancy's been the only real threat from the range they're playing. Freyer's gonna have to get up close and personal, which he does. Actually gets in, but doesn't quite grab that kill. Gets him incredibly low though, but barely holds on. Dancy's arm with the AK is dispatched as well. Manet's just bounding around. He's got a 4K into the round. They've all peeked him one by one. Never into this matchup has he had to go for a 1v2 firefight yet. KS for the final headshot as well, and Reason get that round. Their CT side looking crisp.
Yeah, already claimed 8 rounds. Essentially already won the half as a bare minimum. Can't be looking too harshly, though, at Infused after that round. It was going to be the quasi-buy. CZ's careful. They found the first kill from Zed onto Heaven. Obviously, they wanted to group back towards the B side, but again, these AWPs are finding success across the map. Manet, they have 3 crucial frags. And the thing is very obvious, well, they're playing retake. Manet will get 1 kill, then they retake together as a unit. They're okay with the bomb going down. They know they have confidence in these rounds where Infused still have the weaponry, the AWPs, the AKs. They care more so about their own money.
Okay, well, this looks a little bit better. You can see the 2 players that are now playing in a duo towards outside of B. Dancy's and Link are actually just holding for the push. They're not overextending. They're literally just holding there with their crosshairs ready on the angle in case there is an info play from Reason. They've adapted there at least. Meanwhile, towards Wood as well, Fry able to get the free frag off the back of it. Just play with time and play a little bit more slowly and actually play as duos. And Infused should be able to take these fights.
So now they have the man advantage to work with. Usually what happens in this sort of scenario is right now they'd lose that player. Manet would kill someone towards Ali, or Basso would push, or KS would push and get a kill. And this is it. Again, counter-aggression coming in from Haste. He's found the 4 versus 4, and now it sets up the exact same scenario where Infused are pushed back onto their back heels. But let's see, 3 versus 3, the bomb goes down. Can Infused get good after plant positions and push back lines?
Yeah, it becomes manageable. Off the back of that 1v1 trade, it's actually a fair firefight now, especially when you get stuff like this coming out from Link. This is where he can be quite explosive. He's very aggressive in his individual plays. Likes to try and go for the more wild aggression, but it does come back to bite you in situations like that, where Basso finds him and takes him down. Now left with just 2 players. Batham needs to stay alive quite critically here, as he's the one with the Molotov.
I was about to say as well, that Molotov is fundamental if they want a chance trying to claim this one. Haste with the kit. And the time does tick away. No smoke, he can't just use as a shroud wall, just try and stick the defusers. He expect the peak to come out, he doesn't. And there you have it, both of them catches him off guard. And finally a buy round has been won for Infused. They topple the 8-round streak. That was mounted by Reason Gaming. You know what I'm going to say, Jack? The reset potential is now on the cards for Infused. They only had 1 player staying alive, that being Batham. Their buy most likely to be weak, maybe some UMPs. Let's see, as the buys are coming through. 8-4 is going to be the score as we're going to round number 13. Still got 3 more rounds to play up. Can Infused bring this one back and have an 8-7 half? And actually, the money's a lot better than I thought. So, surprises, surprises, as they will have a full buy going forward. 4 AKs, AWP for Dancies. And again, aggression, this time with an AWP towards B, no longer the rifles.
This is what I was curious about as well, because you see Reason adapt instantly off the back of losing 1 round. They changed their formula a little bit here and go for the double AWP setup. KS actually holding quite an aggressive angle, is wide in the open. Yeah,
also conversely, you can see how passive Reason Gaming are playing towards Pop Dog, playing towards Team Main. You have Tessus playing Sandwich with the rifle, but apart from that, it's very smart aggression. They smoke off the end of the valley, they isolate certain positions as to where Infused can be, so they limit off the angles that Infused can hold from. And from there, they systematically gain control of this map itself. Batham, there's a bit of an inkling there. Someone's pushed and unfortunately goes for the jiggle peek, gives away their first kill. KS as well gives away their second. 5 versus 3 already with 50 seconds left to play for.
That's the AWPs paid off as well. They go for their deep frags, they get the opening entry as well. You take down the lurker and Batham. The bomb is completely isolated, no one's there. Tester's pushing through. If he actually extended around, he would have that. And all they'd have to do is at that point just hold angles. Right now as well, Infused, so limited what they can actually do. Zed basically realizes he must make a play. Oh, lands the flick somehow as he actually will strike against Haste. Ready for the second as well. Zed starting to roll it back a little bit here as he's making it work. He's got 25 seconds though, Snods. The timing is not in his favor.
It isn't indeed, Jack. Minute with the AWP as well towards Blue Train. Can hold the close angle towards Team Main. 16 seconds left. Only real chance of anything for Infused to save here on this AWP. As you can see, Minet's still pushing. He knows that the money is strong for Reese, the money is weak for Infused. He wants this AWP frag. He needs to take away the weapon. And Zed as well misses the no-scope. 8 HP. 1 shot from the USP will take him down and claim his life. As we head into round number 14, it's going to be 9-4 and a reset now for Infused.
God, that's got to frustrate Zed as well in that scenario.
Exactly. This is the thing as well. You know that Reason Gamer pushed towards Ali. So you're okay, you're expecting, all right, they've sent 4 towards the A side. They're only leaving 1 player towards B, which is correct. There is 1 player there, but he's holding low with the AWP. And the problem is, Infused don't take control of Heaven or be up at the start of the rounds. Usually on these defaults, you'll be seeing a player molly towards Heaven and flash the close angle.
Look at this as well from Minette. He knows he's up against the weak fire coming out from Infused, but he just pushes in, finds multiple kills with the AWP. Basso as well from the elevated angle, just able to slap down anyone that comes towards him. Zed's the final man to fall, and that is 10 rounds secured at the very least now for Reason at the half. Are they going to be able to work their way through and get that 11th, or will Infused have some kind of fight left to give in the final round of the half?
I think it's likely, Jack. Lifeless players coming out for Infused as it goes down to the wire, as their tournament life flashes before their eyes. And it's going to be another weak force buy again. This is the thing, though. They're not taking control of the upper. It means that Basso can stay towards Heaven, KS can keep AWPing towards lower, or Minette AWPing towards lower, as what we've seen in other rounds, where they lack control with the utility. And one of the problems is, this is a team Infused. We always harp on them when investing into AK, Kevlar, Smoke Flashbang. When they have $4,100, $4,400, this isn't a team that saves on ecos. But then again, you can argue the fact that they have players like Link and Fryer that can win you those force buy rounds.
Yeah, you've got very key clutch players that can come in massively in those scenarios. But the fact is, Nudge, you need to get yourself into a winnable situation to actually be useful. And Infused are struggling. The only rounds they've won, it's been very dominant stuff. It's not like they find a slight margin to work with and slowly develop in the round. It has to be a win or nothing for them right now. Very fight or flight. But the push will be coming through anyway. Bafum actually somehow gets the kill on Minette as he overwhelms him ever so slightly. There is a spam coming through. Bafum essentially trapped at this point as they do want to try and go for the pop dog push. Bafum still opening up the round as he finds these filthy headshots, but the double spray down from Tessus will start to bring it back. It's all on Bafum in a 1 versus 3. Upgrades himself to an AWP. He has armor to play with as well. Quite a bit of utility, but unfortunately, as he extends round, Tessus had the angle covered.
11-4 first half, especially as well when you consider the fact that Reason Gaming lost their first pistol. They win 11 buy rounds, Infused only claiming 1. And that one buy-round as well was the 1 versus 1 with Bafum versus Haste, and even that was so close. So, we've seen multiple times where Infused have the advantage. They claim the first frag. Someone from Reason Gaming pushes towards B, pushes towards him, and they walk into Link, they walk into Zed, they walk into Fry, they give away the first kill. It's a 5 versus 4, but instantly, these AWPs that you're seeing in the highlight reel as well, they come back, they bite back, they pay off their dividends later on, and they get the 4 versus 4s. And then Reason Gaming, with the teamwork, the chemistry, the cohesion that they possess, they're not going to be losing those retakes versus a team like Infused where they rely on skill, right? This Infused is a team where, in the afterplants, they're trying to out-aim you, they're trying to land those headshots.
Yeah.
For Reason Gaming, that's what they want. They want to be able just to flash in, Molotov out the important position, smoke off the choke points. We saw as well in the pushing alley, they're smoking off alley. They're playing so systematic that it counters a team like Infused where they try to play less structured.
I think it's hard as well, Snons, because the thing is, Team Infused is a team that they have a lot of firepower, and when given structure, when they actually do anti-strat teams, like we've seen Neil done with Envious before, where he'll put the effort in, go through heat maps, go through strategies, break them down. A lot of the stuff of what Jakey does quite regularly, we see that with Endpoint, why they're actually able to top a sort of higher European teams, is because they're anti-stratting. But that's not come through against Reason. It looks like they're just going up and throwing it all to the wall and seeing what will stick. Right now, the early frags do start to go back in favor of Infused, though, as Bafum and Dantes respond back with their USPs, but Haste and Tessus bring it down a potch as they actually secure bomb site control. Tessus just single-handedly closed it out with the Deagle as well. It's a 4K for him, and the opening pistol round. Snods, off the back of the next few rounds, if they actually secure these and somehow Infused don't fight back, the game's essentially over.
Pretty much. That might be the funnel in the coffin here. Pistols go one form, but the scoreline still reads 12-4. It's an 8-round advantage going forward. 4 on the side of Reason Gaming. You can see heated conversations right now for Infused. They're thinking, okay, Tesla lands the first kill. They get the trade kill once again, 4 versus 4, but they come towards the B bomb site. It's not looking good for Infused, as it seems likely that they're not going to be making the regional playoffs.
No, it seems like, unfortunately, they won't be trying to continue fourth and bring some more UK pride to the playoffs right now, as they are struggling into this matchup. They do go for the scout buy with the supported pistols, though, and it actually is going to work out as they're getting the initial tags. They're softening up their opponents, then shutting them down to the pistol with close range. Bafum as well. Oh, so close. The timing could have been critical. If they actually found that frag, it could have dismantled the round. Right now, though, Minette on 1 HP, Basso on 18. Sure, they have upgraded firearms, but their health is so low, it doesn't take much for you to get overwhelmed by these pistol snots. Basso has the read, spots out the shadow, goes for the spam, takes down Fry as it falls back into a 2v2. They do have bomb control, but Zed, he's in the rear. He's lurking as he always does, up to his old tricks as he hammers down. Close range prowess will work more so in his favor, and it falls all on Basso. He's got to try to do it individually into this round now, as he's going to push through.
Does that expect this?
Oh, this is a cheeky play. Look at the game mechanics on display there, but it doesn't really work out when you have to switch to your sidearm. Zed going to get the better of him and takes him down.
Silver lining now for... If they had lost that, Jack, it would have been 13-4. Best team so far in the tournament in terms of regular season stats.
Yeah,
pretty much as good as done. But now, you know, they've been thrown a lifeline. Can they carry this one forward? 12-5, they're the ones now with the firepower, the utility versus the force by now from Reason Gaming. We've already seen what Tessus could do in the pissed around with the Deagle. Can he try replicate that and send Infused packing?
Well, let's see if that is going to be an option. Right now, an aggressive stance taken by Batham. Only with an MP9 in his hands, he was going for the early contact phase, trying to spot them out, see if he could hear any audio cues. They're actually pushing straight in as well. Basso's going for a bit of an audacious play towards close B, from what it seems.
They are playing heavy with a heavy Deagle buy, which means you've got to give time for these Deagles to work the map. Take the peeks, try to find the first frag. You've got to play peeking towards B, had a player towards pop towards team main. They're hoping that someone from the roster from Reason Gaming lands that first one dig and opens up the sights, open up the opportunity for a rush and a swarm to come in.
Basso in the elevated angle now, as he's going to try to peer over the top of the smoke, see if he can get a bit of a jazzy entry kill. Isn't really going to be able to find too much though, as they are just holding back Infused, playing very actually slow structured CS this time around. Very different to what we expect to see from them.
Zed. That gun barrel was showing, but eventually won't be caught out just yet. KS close range versus Dance. He's catching with a grenade in his hand. And it's going to be the man advantage going forward now for Reason Gaming.
Fried, but very Fried as well tags his own teammate in the confusion. So Zed was now weak, goes down, Manette with a double off the back of this. Batham finally arrives, but he's only got an MP9. He can upgrade it to the AK. It's actually the Scout as well, so it's even not going to be that effective. Batham is in such a horrible position. Link can support him, but both of them with just close range SMGs. Whilst they're getting shut down with these hand cannons, they can't do anything. Batham going to try and go for a play, but unfortunately he will be sprayed down. That is another round for Reason. Everyone looks frustrated, Infused. They can't get it together.
They're playing so scared as well. You saw the paranoia towards outside. Dancy's warping towards Connector, holding towards team main. Even you heard it there from Neil. They go for the first frags. We saw how aggressive Reason Gaming were on their CT side and what it paid off for them. Information, the early frags. And for Infused, it's the complete stark opposite. You've got Zed holding towards green tree, not peeking. He's not even peeking towards Ali.
Yeah.
Holding the angles, everyone's scared to their boots.
Dude, where's the aggression gone there? You look individually at these sort of players over on the side of Infused. Normally these people are players that win 1v1 firefights. Batham as well comes through, will actually take down Haste. It seems like they're so timid and scared, and they've lost that confidence. They're playing with shaky aim rather than being the crisp killers they normally are. But let's see if they can actually try and find some newfound momentum. They need something right now, as this will be the 14th round claimed if Reason get it. Sure, you have a weak buy. Your Arsenal is basically just a couple of CZs, whatever you could find, a few flashbangs they found on the back of the sofa. But there's still a chance if you can actually work your way back through. Dancy's as well with a lurk. Can be critical, but the net scopes it out, actually does get overpowered though. Dancy's creating openers to allow his teammates to push in.
Let's see now off the back of the kill from Dancy. It seems like they will be going and pulling the trigger on this one. That's on the crispy headshot. Then Tessus chimes in as well. Finds Fry. Blinking the 1 versus 3. Found that first kill on Tabasco. Got the trade frag, but apart from that, nothing else was found. 14-5. No money left now for Infused, as it will have to be another force buy, and the force buy at that is going to be incredibly weak.
This is the thing. Do you go for another pause at this point? You need to try and do something, surely.
The problem is, I feel like a pause could be worse for this moment right now. If you pause, what are you going to talk about? Your mistakes? That's all there is to bring up. You could try to take a breather for a minute and a half, or sorry, for the 30 seconds or 45 seconds, try to take a break. The problem is, if you take a pause right now, all that can come out is negative things. Yeah. Obviously not too many good things to be said about the play that has been going down for Infused. It's odd. It doesn't look like Infused playing today. When you sort of, even in games where they do lose, it's normally not in a fashion like this. Zed though with the timing, this could be incredible as he wants to strike against the totem pole. Shuts them both down. Does indeed. The push now towards Ali means the remaining players from Reason Gaming going to be lurking towards the B-bomb, so the jump comes out from KS as he shows us his KS skills. Anyway, though, it's going to be the aggressive play towards the B-bomb. So Basso finds another frag as well. 3 versus 3. The site is now claimed for Reason Gaming. This after plan is going to be an uphill struggle going forward for Infused.
Well, Zed spots out KS, but doesn't quite hit him with the AWPs, and they're now going to be aware they can just isolate him. They don't really need to peek him. And everyone else is still facing in these 1v1s as well. Dancy doesn't even actually have a real long-range firearm to work with. He just has the close-range CZ. He can push up, but Basso's going to hear him. They actually both strike at the same time. They find these initial frags, start to bring it back into a manageable situation. Zed lands the shot. So they can stay alive. They'll get the defuse. That will be a 6th round. But nevertheless, Nons, it needs to be basically a flawless game. If you lose 1 round, you have to go to OT. That is your only option to win the matchup at that point. This is going to be a struggle for them.
It is indeed.
Like double pop, so one's watching the ladder and one's facing towards main, you know? Yeah? You know what I mean?
So one of the setups he's talking about right now is the aggressive pop play where you have two players in pop. One holds. We saw Tessus hold the same angle as well from Reason Gaming where he's holding above the ladder and then one player in pop holding for the team in push. Astralis for the first ones to bring it out. And it seems like everyone's basically copied it since then.
Well, the only thing is, obviously, when we see that from Reason, Infused didn't actually do the double Molotov to force them out. We've seen Reason do that key times in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
They know how to counter it.
That Molotov as well is very easy to throw after seeing, I believe it was God B that brought out. Nevertheless, here it comes. Fast aggression towards outside.
Oh, Tessus with the entry off the back of the Glil though, Snons. He takes down Dante's. Link as well falls. The sure Zed gets 1 frag, but what more can he actually do? He's blocked off. His line of sight has been removed as the smoke wall is up, and he's holding a different angle. No one's going to peek towards close connector. Who's trying to take towards connector control right now? So this retake is going to be hard.
3 versus 2. Let's see. Orb coming up from Zed, 34 HP. Having the Orb itself in this scenario isn't the best with the HP disadvantage. It's not looking good. Good Molotov comes out, will burn KS alive. Leaves just a Batham down the 1 versus 2.
Yeah, nice read from Batham. Let's see what he can actually do as he wants to try and bring more heat into this round. As he bounds into action, they're going to peek at the same time. Surely they will do so. Minette and Tessus take him down as a double team, and that is going to be the 15th round secured. They have match point. It's all about overtime now for Infused. They can't even think about winning.
11 match points going forward now for Reason Gaming. They've only lost 1 matchup so far, and that was early on into Swan 1 Train versus Envious Academy. There's one in the interview, I believe Haste had it on the desk last week, where Tom said, what happens if you were to play Team Envious Academy now, right? Would you claim the victory again in map like Train as well? And they were very confident in saying yes, and you can see why.
Yeah.
The difference, the evolution of their Train from first week losing versus Envious Academy 16-9, or 16-13, sorry, to now dominating a team like Infused, which has a lot of skill, a lot of prowess.
Well, this is the thing. Coming into it, a lot of people sort of saw them as an underdog, thought they'd be a team that would get toppled very easily by a lot of players, didn't really think they're going to be overwhelming anyone. But you look at them now, Haste works very well as an in-game leader to actually adapt and upgrade his team. Minette has watched with a double kill there. Some of the people spoke about, Minette, we haven't seen him in years. What's he even going to do? Is his reactions going to be on point? Coming into the server right now, looking fantastic with the AWP. So much finesse behind the kills he's found. Really game-changing frags that have opened it up. Barrels of impact frags tied to him. And this looks like it will be the final round going in favor of Reason as Zed hits the deck. Zed's dead, baby. And that is going to be 16 rounds secure. They pick up the victory there on Train. Reason Gaming still continuing on their strong streak.
Indeed. Only losing 1 matchup, first matchup of
shirt
the
comes
season.
off for Neelam.
And that's, you know, that paints the picture.